last time out, things went very well on track. But off track, things took a drastic turn for the worse.
You are to be fined $1 million, the money you owe to the Bobby Simpson racing team that they paid you to drive. You also have to abide to the contract that was signed.
But
No ifs, no buts. The decision is final.
the judge had ruled that Buddy must abide by this so-called contract that he'd apparently signed for Bobby Simpson Racing in IndyCar and leave his contract with Renault. But when Buddy spoke on the phone to his engineer Jonathan, after Jonathan was unwilling to relent on the situation.
This is not fair. You didn't even sign the contract.
I know, just before my home races, well, I never signed this goddamn contract.
I think I know how your signature ended up on the BSR contract.
What?
Do you remember when he lured you into signing that contract, promising he will support your F1 dreams? Maybe that contract was a disguise of some sort. As soon as you told me about that, I had a feeling something fishy was going on.
Yeah, that's probably it. Never signed any other contract since I signed the Renault contract. I knew something looked a bit odd about the paper, but I didn't think much of it because I was so excited about him seemingly finally supporting me.
You should raise that to the judge.
Yeah, might as well. This is not fair. I've just worked it out. I was tricked into signing it.
The case is over, Buddy.
I was tricked.
Okay, what did he disguise it as?
He gave me a contract making me think it was a contract that he'd support me in F1.
Okay, Buddy Simpson has made the case that Bobby Simpson disguised the contract as something else to lure him. Judging by the reactions of everyone in the room, we need to do a rethink.
Another hearing would be held just after the Hungarian Grand Prix. But for now, Buddy is free to return to Formula 1. It was now time for him to head to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. So, despite that turn of events, Buddy is luckily able to return to Formula 1 for his home Grand Prix. It was going to be an interesting one. This was a track that really suited the Renault very well, with all its high-speed corners, and Buddy knows this track very well. It was when he got taken to the British Grand Prix that he discovered his love for Formula 1. So this place holds some happy memories for Buddy. And he showed reasonable pace during the practice sessions. But in qualifying, once again, rain scuppered things, and he failed to make Q3 again. So, it was the big one as far as Buddy was concerned. It's the British Grand Prix held at the thrilling Silverstone circuit. Unlike in qualifying, it is a fairly sunny day at the Silverstone circuit, 22 degrees. And that's British summer for you. It can be rainy one day and then really sunny the next. But Buddy is relieved that it's dry, even though he's better in the wet in the race than he is in the wet in qualifying. But Buddy was quite annoyed about how the rain scuppered his qualifying once again. But he's got a fast car underneath him, so he's hoping he can make use of it in this race. He's actually starting on the mediums. One stop is expected to be the strategy in this race. Most are doing soft medium, but Buddy is doing medium soft. So, taking a look at the starting grid then, and it obviously was a very interesting qualifying position in the wet. It was Kimi Räikkönen who took pole position ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who lines up in second. Sebastian Vettel lines up in third, with Valtteri Bottas in fourth. Daniel Ricciardo lines up in fifth ahead of Kevin Magnussen, Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez. Fernando Alonso lines up in 9th, they have Roman Grosjean in 10th. Max Verstappen starts 11th with a grid penalty, with Charles Leclerc in 12th, and Buddy Simpson lines up in 13th. Stoffel Van Dorn lines up in 14th from McLaren ahead of Pierre Gasly, Marcus Ericsson, Brendan Hartley, Esteban Ocon with a grid penalty, with the two Williams of Lance Stroll and Sergei Sorokin lining up at the back of the grid. It was time for the British Grand Prix.
Okay, buddy, it's your home race. Try to make good use of it.
So some encouragement on the team radio for Buddy as he lines up on the grid, obviously a lot lower than he wants to be. He just can't seem to get a handle of the car in the wet in qualifying trim. He just seems to struggle. As you can see, we have the lights at Silverstone. Lights out, away we go. And Buddy doesn't get a very good start and is overwhelmed by Van Dorn, Ericsson and almost the Toro Rosso. But Buddy finds a gap on the outside and is able to get the position back from Van Dorn. Although Van Dorn has the inside line heading in towards Village. But Buddy now has the inside line into the loop and is able to defend the position. So Buddy actually gained back the positions that he lost in the end. Now moving on to lap 4.
Don't waste time with these guys. You'll have the pace at the end.
Buddy was told this because Van Dorn was giving him quite a hard time. But Buddy was holding his own and all the cars ahead began to battle it out and Buddy began to close. Especially as their tyres were starting to wear out. As you can see, down the inside of Fernando Alonso going in towards Stowe Corner. So, as the soft tyres start to go off, he's starting to make up ground. Now he's behind Charles Leclerc down the Hangar Straight. Obviously, it's a very easy corner to overtake on, but he has the run. There was actually a little bit of wheel banging down the straight, but Buddy has taken the position. Once the soft tyre runners had pitted, Buddy was running in the dizzy heights of second. So it looked like this strategy could potentially work. I mean, as you can see, he gets passed by Bottas there, but obviously that's no contest, especially with the older tyres that Buddy is on. And he's under pressure from Vettel here. But as you can see, we have a safety car, and that is an absolute disaster.
Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to
Okay,
keep it
safety
positive.
car.
Check your MFD.
That screws us over. What do we do? No way Softs can make the end from here.
Don't hit.
But then everyone's going to be all over me and I don't have to stop again.
I know, but that's the best we can do.
So this is an absolute disaster for Buddy, because obviously, as mentioned, if he pits, he's going to have to pit again. So either way, he's going to have to make a pit stop after the safety car. And because everyone has had their only pit stop nullified by this safety car, this is just going to completely drop Buddy to the back of the field. Why can't they cover this under VSC? The car's on the side of the road, out of harm's way. Understandably so, Buddy is furious because this has really screwed him over. As you can see, the safety car is going to be coming in on lap 26, and as you can see, he is really struggling for grip. I mean, this has completely ruined Buddy's race, like an absolute awful timing of the safety car. As you can see, Vettel gets through. I mean, these cars don't really matter that much because they're going to pass them anyway. But it couldn't be much more of a worse time for the safety car. Literally, he was doomed, whatever strategy he picked from then on. As you can see, he's being passed by all the big 3 teams runners, and now he's got Sergio Perez behind, who he does go around, but as you can see, he understeers going into Luffield and he literally can't do anything. Like, now he's got Verstappen behind and he goes down the inside going into Cops. Buddy has to go off the track. But Renault versus Red Bull was going to be no contest really.
Okay, box this up. Stop 3M.
Well, we won't be able to do anything though.
There could be a safety car which would help.
So as you can see, Buddy comes in But as I said, either way, he would have had to make a pit stop after the safety car, because if he'd pitted, the softs wouldn't have made the end. And obviously if he didn't pit, he would have had to pit anyway, obviously because he needs to do his mandatory stop. And obviously everyone else had their only stop nullified by the safety car. So Buddy is dropping right to the back of the field, not last because
Up to speed now.
Gasly actually seems to have a similar disadvantage, but he's on the medium tyre, so maybe not. You can see Buddy exits the pits and he is ahead initially, but Gasly is going to have DRS down the Wellington straight, and Buddy can't do much about it. But he decided to let that one fly as he'd have DRS down the hangar straight. But then things would get worse. Buddy, box and be careful. DRS is stuck open. We can fix it in the pit lane, but we can't use DRS for the rest of the race. Sake! Oh, what a glorious race. So, as if he hasn't been screwed up enough already, this, to be honest, was the final nail in the coffin as far as scoring points this race was concerned. I mean, you can't doubt the bad luck that Buddy's had to deal with this race. Firstly, a poorly timed safety car, which completely screwed him over, and then his DRS sticks over and he can't even use it for the rest of the race, even if he does catch up. So points are basically out of the question, but his team remained optimistic. Okay, we are not a lap down, so a safety car will put us on the back of the pack. Well, in that situation, they'd all fit and put newer tyres on, and I don't have DRS, so it wouldn't really do anything. I mean, his team were remaining optimistic, but to be honest, Buddy's race was just damaged beyond repair.
Caution.
As you can see, there's a yellow flag here, and that's because Stroll has stopped on the side of the track, and that provoked an anger in Buddy for an obvious reason. Typical, that Williams is in a much more dangerous place than Alonso's car was, and no safety car. Nice consistency. I mean, to be fair, Buddy does have a point there. But now moving on to the final lap, Buddy would actually catch up to Sirotkin, but he was just too far back. And he'd come round the final sector to finish in 18th and last out of the finishers, and Buddy was just not in a good mood, as you'd expect. Really sorry about that, Buddy. Luck was just not on our side today. You drove well
That's a
though.
disappointing result for sure.
Don't talk to me, I'm gonna get the f*** out of here. I mean, obviously, as you can hear there, Buddy is just not happy at all with how the race went, as you'd expect. Doesn't want to remain here for long. The way he shut down his team there. But things were better for Mercedes, as you can see. Like, it was a good race for them because Lewis Hamilton took the win at his home race, so at least the other Brit did well for the British crowd. So, Buddy had a rough race at his home Grand Prix, but can he bounce back when F1 heads to the Hockenheim ring?